Yahawashi, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
God. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wa abab ball. So we're going to get into this prophecy, which you had some prophecy fulfilled recently with the SpaceX, all right, which I'm going to go ahead and get that 2 Peter chapter 1.
Verse 19?
Yep.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts.
All right, so we're enlightened through this word by the Holy Spirit. Go to Baruch 4, verse 1.
Okay.
All right, so we got a sure word of prophecy. And how do you know it's sure? Through the history, which is already prophecy fulfilled. Go ahead.
We got Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of power and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Which the power that gave us this word is Yahawah. Go ahead.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
So that you could understand what's going on. All right, now go to Isaiah 33:5.
Isaiah 33:5.
All right, because we're gonna have more knowledge than these heathen. All right, because we know through the word, which enlightens us by the Holy Spirit, of what's going on. While everybody else don't know what the fuck is going on, we know according to the sure word of prophecy. Go ahead.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 5. The Lord Yahawah is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness.
Go on.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahawah is his treasure.
So that's where we're at. The ones that fear the Lord know. The ones that don't fear the Lord don't know. All right. Go to Jeremiah 10.
Jeremiah 10. Okay. Jeremiah 10, verse 1.
Yep.
Okay. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them.
Which is, the heavens are above us. All right. So this video, which is on, this is, what is it, Dabu 777, which he's going to share the SpaceX explosion, which they tell you that there's what this world calls so-called UFOs, which everybody's dismayed at this, but the elect know, all right, that this was coming.
This is Dabu 7. I want to share with you guys here some footage of this SpaceX explosion and some really weird anomalies around it. From UFOs, UAPs, everyone on the ground had witnessed this. I was wondering if you guys had seen something similar. Now, here's a secondary clip, and this was caught down near Miami. And you can see the object coming into frame here, but there are all kinds of smaller objects that pop up in the sky around it. And this is what's raising the question. Were there UFOs, UAPs surrounding this right before it blew up? If so, we need.
All right. So go to Revelation 12 and verse, what was it? I believe it's 19. Let's see. Revelation 12, verse 9.
Verse 9.
Yeah, no, 7.
Verse 7.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is prophecy. All right. And the prophecy is being fulfilled in our lifetime. All right. These prophecies of Yahawashi and the angels coming back and judging this world. Go ahead.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and, and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
So the dragon is that so-called white race, which they have a beast system, and his angels, which is that military might that they have with NATO. All right. So the Lord's coming back to fight against the so-called white man and his military, which is what? The destruction of America. All right. Go ahead.
And prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
And that's what you're seeing. That's why these angels are starting to throw down their satellites. Pretty much it's over for this place. The Lord's not with them doing this no more. All right. Go ahead.
And
in that movie, all right, look into the looking glass experiment. Also, the movie called Staring at Goats. And they tell you if you're going against the grain, all right, you're going to get all kinds of resistance. But if you're doing exactly which they don't want to say God, they said the universe, right? They don't want to claim that it's the works of Yahawah. They want to, put it on everybody else. But this is the works of Yahawah Ba'asham, Yahawashi. And they said, if you're doing what you were destined to do, the river will carry you. You see, the spirit will carry you is what they were explaining. So that's why these missiles are being shot out. And this ain't the first time. This is actually the second time in a row for these missiles to be shot down. All right, these satellites. Let me get the other one. So it's showing you that the Lord is not with this man and his power is waning. Waning, let me see, waning, I believe it's waning. Because the moon wanes. Yep, waning. It suggests a state of poor health. That's what's happening to Esau. He's losing it. All right. So let me grab this other one where the brother puts a news reporter in there, and she explains that this ain't the first time.
Tonight, Elon Musk blew something up and disrupted the lives of thousands of Americans. For the second time in less than 2 months, a rocket launched by Elon Musk's company SpaceX exploded and rained potentially dangerous debris down over a wide area of Earth, causing real chaos for planes and airline passengers.
The Lord ain't with him putting his satellites up no more. All right? And we're at the end of the age of the so-called white man, the red devil. All right? So you could expect them to come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time, and there's no more room in heaven for him. He's pretty much forfeited the throne through injuries and unrighteous dealings. Let me get that real quick. Unrighteous dealings. It's Ecclesiasticus 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom of Edom, right, is translated to another people, to one people to another, from one people. Let me read that again. because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the kingdom of Edom is going to go into slavery under the Israelites. And because the Israelites are repenting, it tells you that the throne is established by righteousness. So we're going to receive the kingdom. Let me see, by righteousness. It says in Psalms 89, verse 14, justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And that's what's happening. The Israelites, are being shown mercy by us giving this truth, and then we're sharing that truth. So any Israelite that believes could repent and be saved when Yahawashi returns. All right, but the throne is established in righteousness and justice. All right, but the wicked is doing wicked, and that's why they're losing. All right? Go ahead, you call.
Okay. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, starting at verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
All right, so hold on. So the serpent, he was in the garden, this so-called white race. They had color back then. But he was the one in the garden in the beginning, in the land where he deceived Eve. All right. The devil, which he deceived the world with the false images and with the false religions. As Satan, he's the adversary. He's the one that's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time, which deceiveth the whole world with his false religion, Christianity. Go ahead.
And which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So he's going to go into slavery. That's what that means. Right now he's in his heaven ruling, but he's going to be cast out onto the earth, meaning he'd be a slave. Who's going to be in their heaven? The Israelites. All right, right now we're in hell because we're in the so-called white man's heaven, the wickedness of the earth. All right, America being that kingdom. Let me grab Matthew 25, verse 40. It says, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So whatever they do to the prophets, you're doing to the body of Yahawashi. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, which is the unbelieving Israelites in America, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Esau, America, and then the military of Esau in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, they're going to be destroyed by fire. All right, why? Because they were created against us, the Israelites. All right, but what's it say in Isaiah 54 and verse 17? It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. So not the so-called white man, not his beast system, not his mark of the beast. All right, none of these things are gonna succeed. All right, against the Israelites. It's gonna succeed against the 2/3, which are counted as heathen now because they refuse this truth. But the elect, all right, they're only gonna be able to sacrifice a few of us before their judgment comes. All right. But no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Because it says, even if you die, your works follow you. All right. It says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. So the Lord rebuke you, Esau. All right. And you reprobates, may the Lord get rid of you. Because what's your purpose on this earth but evil? All right. So you're going to receive that reward of evil back upon your own head, the wicked and them that do wickedly, including these other nations. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahawah, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahawah. So Yahawah, this is his kingdom. So he declares what is right and what is wrong. All right. So what does it say? Study to show yourself approved. All right. Go ahead, you go.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying, in heaven now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
See, and you see the angels casting down those satellites. You see, so we're in that time for this devil to be completely cast down. And it says that Lucifer, which is America, is going to fall like lightning. Yahawashi prophesied that. All right, so right here, this word that was in that verse, which was cast down, which is actually two words, but in the Hebrew, it's one word. I mean, the Greek.
Strong's G 2598, katabalo.
Katabalo. Which it says to cast down, to throw to the ground, prostrate, to make it lay down, to put in a lower place, to lay down a foundation. And that foundation is the Edomite. All right, because the scriptures explain these nations as the foundations of the earth. I believe it's Genesis 10. Let me see. The earth. Yeah, Micah 6, verse 2. Hear ye, O mountains, Yahawah's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth. For Yahawah had a controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel, all right, which he's going to kill the Israelites that don't believe. All right, but we're amongst the heathen. All right. And that's why we're going to remember ourselves amongst the heathen. Jeremiah 30, verse... It says in verse 10, it says, therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahawah, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, because we've been scattered amongst the heathen. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So that's a cut to those small hats in our land, the counterfeits. Why are they afraid? Why do they have the Iron Dome? Why do they have bunkers, right? Because they're afraid. But when we get back in that land, we're going to be godlike, and nothing will make us afraid, because we'll be with our power forever. We won't ever sin. So there will be no reason for our power to punish us no more. You see? Go ahead, Yoko.
I got a couple here.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 8, verse 23. Who shall lay anything to the charge of power's elect? It is power that justifieth.
Right. Go on.
Who is he that condemneth it? Condemneth it is Hamashiach that died, yea, rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of power, who maketh intercession for us.
And that's why we're speaking in prophecy, because the Comforter, which he promised us, he sent, and we now prophesy. Remember, the Spirit came upon them in Revelation 11. It says in verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Yahawah through Yahawashi entered into them, the Holy Spirit, starting with Abba Bivens, 1969 in Harlem. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Which me and this brother, we were watching about that looking glass experiment. And the movie Staring at Goats, which they're afraid. They said that they, using their witches and their witchcraft, they looked into what was to come for the so-called white man, and it's nothing but destruction. And right after that, they ran and made that underground bunker, DIA, Denver International Airport, because they're going to try to escape this judgment, which is in the prophecies. All right? It's in the prophecies. Revelation 6, the rich men shall be in the caves and in the dens of the rocks, begging for the rocks to fall upon them, to hide them from the judgment that comes with Yahawashi. Right?
Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution?
Nothing.
Or famine?
Yeah, or famine, nothing. Because we're not going to experience those things.
Mm-hmm.
These things are for the unbelieving. See? So these things are not going to be in our plate. Now, we might see little times of ups and lows, but that's given. That's, what is that? Philippians 4, verse 12. I know both how to be abased, which is broke or low, and I know how to abound when you got a lot. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all these things through Hamashiach, which strengthened me. See? But we understand what the affliction is for, so we could call upon Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi. Psalms 50, verse 14, offer unto power thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble. So we're led into trouble so that we could exercise our faith and call upon our power, Yahawah, through his son Yahawashi. What hast thou to declare? Verse 15, and call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Now, that word, call upon me, right there, that part, when you go into that, into the Hebrew, is quara, which means to recite the scripture. Just like Yahawashi did with Satan when he was being tempted. All right? He used the word of Yahawah to overcome that spirit of Satan. Go ahead.
Just a little bit more here. Or nakedness, or peril, or sword.
Right. So those are two things that we're always promised, is food and clothing. All right. It says with food and remnant. It says in 1 Timothy 6, let's see, 1 Timothy 6 and verse 8. It says, and having food and raiment, which is clothing, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, which you see these Hollywood people, these musicians, right? They want to get rich and powerful and own their rights to their music, and they end up in prison, in a scandal, or dead, right? It says, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. So just be happy to have food and clothing. That's what we have guaranteed to us. All right? But the world is going to suffer famine, death, and destruction. Go ahead.
Come on. Should I go back to Revelation?
Let me get another one. I just thought of it right now. Okay. Did you have another one or no?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you go back to that. Let me grab this, though, in 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra 8 and verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the later time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise opened, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteous is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. All right? So we're going to receive that immortality. That's what we're hoping for. It says in 2nd Ezra 8, verse 1, and he answered me, saying, the Most High Yahawah, through his son Yahawashi, have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Why? Because they're going to die. All these people that you see on the earth are going to die. All right? Go ahead, Jerome.
Go on. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
Which they're going to kill some of us. Revelation 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahawashi, and for the testimony, which is the spirit of prophecy, which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, because it tells you when you die, your works follow you. And in Revelation 19, it says the white robes are the righteousness of the saints. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. See? So after that number of Israelites are allowed to be killed, being persecuted for not taking the implantable microchip, all right, the Lord's going to come back and judge this world, because right after that, it says in verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, which that mighty wind is going to come from the nuclear destruction of America. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, which is the mushroom cloud, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and the bondmen, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You see, but we'll be standing, looking down upon this place, watching it burn with Yahawashi, because Yahawashi, he's going to gather us by his angels when he comes back to carry out this judgment. And he's going to avenge us. That's what it says in Revelation 18, 20, and 21. Go ahead, you coughed it more.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Now, in that word there, where it says the heavens, all right, in the Greek, the word there is
Strong's G 3772, Uranos.
Uranos. Which it says the heavens, the sky, the air, the universe. But when you go down to the Strong's definition, it says especially the gospel, which it says Christianity, but it would be being a fully persuaded Israelite. You see, the fully persuaded is going to be the perfect Israelite, which is Yahawashi said in Matthew 5, verse 48, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Now let me cross-reference that word perfect. And it gives you, let's see, I believe it's, let me put it in here, because it tells you that the word was given to us for us to perfect ourselves. I know it's New Testament. Let me see, I know how it goes. You knew. Since youth. That is 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. But continue, though it says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahawah through Yahawashi, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of power may be perfect. I'm going to say that again. That the man of power may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto good works, unto all good works. See? So there's no excuse in saying that I'm not a perfect Israelite, right? You're supposed to be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. knowing how to deal with every situation as a judge. Go ahead.
Colin. Revelation 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
Which is the Israelites. All right? And that's what's about to happen. Go to Jeremiah 30. Because they're going to persecute us. Why? Because of our testimony. It says in Matthew 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And that's what's happening right now. But it's going to increase until America is completely wiped off the face of the earth by its allies and enemies. All right? Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord Yahawah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord Yahawah, power of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I
know. Go to 6.
Jeremiah 36?
30 verse 6, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me.
Verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore I do see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Which is going to happen. Let me get this video real quick. All right? Which they're talking about the prices of food going up to the point where people are going to be in the street without the ability to eat. And then Trump is shutting down all these government assistance programs like food banks. All right, so they're going to be out here in a bad state. It says right here. Where's he at? There he is.
You want us to get filthy rich.
In your arms, your arteries, everything.
This is
we are here to tell you that food.
This is from Skinhead News, Full Spectrum Survival.
Prices are about to go up. We have a whole bunch of indicators warning that we're going to see a price increase within the next couple of days. This is on your fresh fruit, your fresh vegetables, and on your product goods, like your boxed goods. We are seeing the indicators right now that we're about to hit an economic bit of turmoil that will send people over the edge. You're about to see desperate Americans in the streets. Now, there are some concerns that we will see protests or some sort of other unrest from what's about to happen. But
see, so they're going to be in a state of fear, a state of hunger, right? They're just going to be in trouble. Go ahead.
says Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
See, the body of Yahawashi, which is his elect, will be saved out of it. Go to Isaiah 14. Let me grab Daniel 12. It says in Daniel 12, verse 1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the sons of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, which is Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be written in the book, which written means you're studying to show yourself approved, and the book is the scriptures. All right. Now going to Jude, verse.
With Isaiah 14?
Yeah, but
another one, Jude.
No, I got this one. Okay. Jude 9. It says, yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, that so-called white race, he disputed about the body of Moses, which is the elect, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, the Lord rebuke thee. With what? The word of Yahawah, which the word of Yahawah speaks of Yahawashi. All right? So, all right, go ahead.
God. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord power, Yahawah, will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Which the strangers are the Israelites amongst the other nations. The main foundation of the 12 tribes are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians of North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. The strangers are Israelites amongst these other nations that don't look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native American Indians. But they're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to understand. All right, go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahawah for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And they know that. If you go into that looking glass experiment, all right, they know that they're going to go into slavery. Looking glass experiment. Oh, you know what? I got that video. Let me just grab that video real quick. And I'll cut to that part. All right. Let's see. History. And here it is.
Why is Amazon
Let the commercial go through? Because they know they're going to go into slavery. All right. They did this experiment called the looking glass.
There is another timeline split coming in 2030. One timeline shows humanity awakening. This timeline ushers in a new era of peace. Humanity learns telepathy, and all the lies we've been told are suddenly revealed. If you have questions about who killed JFK or what happened on 9/11, you'll know. Every deception will be exposed, like a cloud lifting from over our entire species.
Which is another prophecy. All right, that knowledge shall increase in these last days, Daniel 12. All right.
Here's the other timeline where there's a disaster.
What is he showing you? A nuclear destruction.
And if you're lucky enough to survive, your role will be one of servitude. You'll be enslaved by the powerful simply to survive.
See?
Right now, there's...
Which will be the Israelites. All right? The Israelites are going to have the heathen in slavery. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery. The tables are going to turn soon. They're already turning. But it's going to be sudden when the Lord makes America pretty much a desolation. It's only going to take an hour for all these nuclear missiles to devour America. Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahawah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Which we were set here in America to serve slavery, to be in sorrow. America's, the name goes back to Amerigo, which was an Edomite navigator, and thy fear, which here, this is where you feared. You were enslaved here. You're hunted. Hey, when you drive down the street, what happens when the cop gets behind you? Mm-hmm. Right? This cop could be doing something else, going to lunch, going home, going whatever. But right away he gets behind you, you get fearful. Because this is the land of our captivity. All right? And it says, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. You were beat here to go to slavery. Right? This is where you were in slavery with yokes on your neck. And that wasn't just the so-called Negroes. They did that to the Northern Kingdom Israelites too. All right? Because we are the Israelites. Go ahead.
That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
All right, so how did Elon Musk missile not fulfill its task? How much are those missiles? Let's see. How much are SpaceX missiles? $62 million per launch. And you just lost 2 of those. Right? So I'm sure with that much money on the line, they're not trying to mess up. So who cast you down? Who stopped you from putting those missiles up in the air like you planned? See, what does it say? It says in Isaiah 30... Let's see, 3. Let's see, Isaiah 33. Nope, it's 31. Isaiah 31, verse 3. Now the Egyptians, which he's talking about, these Americans, are men and not God. And their horses, flesh, and not spirit. Why, when you shoot at the chariots, you miss, Esau? You can't hit the chariots. You lie when you say you have a crashed chariot, a crashed UFO. That's a lie. Because you can't hit those chariots. They're spirit. But your flesh, your horses are flesh. And that's why they blew up into debris and fell down to the earth. You're not a god. You're just a man. It says, now the Egyptians, a.k.a. the Americans, are men and not God. Elon Musk is not a god. Donald Trump is not a god. Their money, it gives them this feeling of power, but they're not gods. It says, and their horses flesh, and not spirit. when the Lord Yahawah shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. See, just like these rockets are failing, America's eventually going to fail at the coming of Yahawashi, which he's right here. You saw those chariots; those are coming with him. It says in 2 Ezra 13. It says in verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man, Yahawashi, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And those are part of the thousands of heaven that shot that missile down. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. So he's coming to destroy many people. All right, the devil, the so-called white race, their kingdom, America, and their military, NATO, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Go ahead.
Go on. Revelation chapter 12, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
Right, which we're in that time. We're being nourished by their product. We got to go to Walmart. We got to go to King Supers. It says in Deuteronomy 28, verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahawah thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahawah thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahawah shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness and in the want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, which is talking about the Roman Edomite, and then eventually the American Edomite. All right, which you have had the Edomites come up with these different kingdoms, the European Union, but now America being that final kingdom, which is going to be destroyed, going into perdition. All right, go ahead.
I got one here. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6, the ESV. Therefore a curse devours the earth, and its inhabitants suffer for their guilt. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are scorched, and few men are left.
Few men are left. The earth to come is only going to have a few. Majority women, because that's how the earth is going to be repopulated by Israelite men and Israelite women. And you're going to have even these heathen women as concubines. And we're going to repopulate the earth. See?
Back to Revelation 12, verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Right, which they're making these laws to bring forth their military. All right, which it tells you the Lord is going to raise the standard when they come in like a flood. Isaiah 59, verse 19. I'll start at 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So to these heathen, he's going to pay them back. It says, so shall they fear the name of Yahawah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Why? Because the devil, the so-called white man, made executive orders giving him the rights to come down on Jake with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahawah shall lift up a standard against him. Now that word standard, let's go into the interlinear. It says right here, standard. Nawas. It says to flee, escape, to take flight, to depart, disappear, to fly, to attack, horseback, right? So like you're a warrior with power. It says to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause to disappear. But she's going to give us power to be terrible. All right? Go ahead.
Con. Revelation chapter 12, starting at verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnants of her seed.
Right, which they're going to find themselves fighting with the Lord. Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of power and have the testimony of Yahawashi HaMashiach.
Right, so you keep the commandments of Yahawah and the faith of Yahawashi HaMashiach. And that's, what verse is that?
Verse 17.
17? Go to Revelation 17.
Revelation 17, verse 1.
And, yep, you could get verse 1.
Con. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Which is America. All right, now jump down to verse 7.
Con. Revelation 17, verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel?
Which he marveled because he's seeing a woman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he has a vision. We're breaking down the vision now because we're seeing these prophecies be fulfilled and we're remembering through the Holy Spirit. But in his time, he was seeing a vision. Go ahead.
I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Which is the European Union and NATO. Go ahead.
The beast that thou sawest was and is not and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
The Europe, right? European Union, the bottomless pit, because it has no natural resources. Go ahead.
And go into perdition.
Which is going to be destroyed.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Which right now, that's why you have these false prophets. Go ahead.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
Right. Which is countries. All right. Governments. These 7 heads are Greece, Rome, Spain, Britain, France, Germania Minor, Germania Major. Go ahead.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
See, so it's not going to be a long period, like another 1,000 years. It's only going to be a short period of time at the Renaissance, the rebirth of the so-called white race. It's only a short time. All right, go ahead.
And the beast that was and is not, even is Even he is the eighth and is of the seventh and goeth into perdition.
Which is America. It came out of all those union of Europe, the European Union. All those Edomite nations were over here in America. All right. And it's the reincarnation of Rome, which was wounded unto death. All right. But this modern day Rome is going to go into perdition, into destruction. All right. Go ahead.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
Which that beast is already together. They came together already. You have NATO, which the European Union is pretty much the horns of that beast. All right. Go ahead.
These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
And in fact, today is one of those days in history. Let me pull up my posts. All right. Let me see. Posts. So Sweden came into the NATO. Here, Sweden officially joins NATO, becoming its 32nd member. Which, what are they doing in Sweden? The MOTB, the implantable microchip.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So that's what's coming with this beast system.
Yep.
All right? Go ahead.
These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord, power of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Talking about his elect. Go ahead.
For he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Which they mingled themselves with the seed of men, and they have now the UN. All right? Go ahead.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast,
which is the European Union,
these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate.
Right, which the whore is America. And what do they say right now? They're talking about war with America.
Right.
Right? Trump just today said he's leaving Europe. Trump.
What about NATO?
Yeah, separating from EU. He just said it today. I was watching his news reports. Let me see. See, news about Trump separating from EU. You know, you can pull it up yourself, but there's a bunch of it. He said Trump wants Europe to defend itself. 12 hours ago, right there. See? Oh, they put that thing up there. But you can't see it. All right? You could look it up for yourself. He said it today. All right? Go ahead.
These shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Nuclear missiles. Now let's see. EU talks about war with US. Look, Europe scrambles to rearm as Trump threatens security. Rearm against who? You see? So eventually, this European Union is going to attack America and destroy it with missiles. And it's going to be helped by the bear, the Revelation 13. Go ahead. You could go to that. Revelation 13.
Revelation 13. 13 verse 1.
Yeah.
There we go. Revelation chapter 13 verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Which they have all these names, which their name is Edom. All right. But the countries that they come in, Greece, that was a Japhetic nation. Rome, that was to the Japheth. But the Edomites conquered Japheth and took over that land and claimed to be those people, just like they did with Gad in the America, right? They conquered Gad, and then they claim to be the Native Americans, right? So that's what they've done throughout the whole world. And that's why it says, and upon his head, the name of blasphemy. Let's pull that word blasphemy up, because they lie, all right? They pretty much kill and steal the identity of those people. Like British, they're not the British. The original Britain was the Israelite, the man of the covenant. Let's see, it says there for that Greek word.
Strong's G 988, blasphemia.
Blasphemia. It says slander, detraction, speech injurious to another's good name, impious and reproachful speech, injurious to divine majesty, which they do this against the Lord, to run from their judgment that the Lord has for them. They hide themselves, all right, in false religions. And in that movie, when you watch that movie, they're staring at goats. They sent this soldier to go experiment all over in all these different religions to try to come up with a new religion for America. You see, which they came up with the LSD and all these other things, MK Ultra, all these different things. That's the man that brought that up. In fact, he's the one that came up with the slogan, be all that you could be. See? Let me see. What was it? What's that movie? Oh, Staring at Goats. Let me get the cast. Cast. So it says the name is, the guy he played is Bill Django. That's the character. And the real guy is Jeff Bridges. All right. And that man, Bill Django was paid by the government to go look out all these different religions, which it makes me think of Obadiah. It says in verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Which that's what he did. This man, he searched out different religions and made up his own. All right? And that's what Esau does. Go ahead.
Come on. Revelations chapter 13, verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
So now this beast in this modern time started with Greece, with Alexander the Greek. All right, but once again, you had this beast system back in the ancient world with Rome and its allies, which were the other nations against the Israelites. All right, which now is America, and that beast system, instead of heathen, you have Edomites throughout the European Union. And now they have the other heathens under the United Nations banner. All right? Go ahead.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
Which they pretty much use that blueprint of Rome for this America now. All right, and all those other kingdoms, you had Greece, Rome, Spain. Spain was the reincarnation of Rome. France, what was it? Britain. All these nations were reincarnations of Rome. When they built this European Union, it was the Treaty of Rome first, you see? And now you have the UN. I mean, the European Union, forgive me. European Union came out of the Treaty of Rome. And like Apostle Dahar said, why is it the Treaty of Rome? Why isn't it the Treaty of France? Treaty of
Italy.
Yeah, Italy. But it's the Treaty of Rome because it's the reincarnation of Rome. They always do that. If you go, watch, I'll show you something else. Russia, the BRICS, guess what that's in the image of? Rome. So that's what they do. They do it over and over again. I looked this up just recently. Let me put structured. BRICS structured in the image of Rome. BRICS nations. I didn't do it like that, but let me do it this way. I just looked this up. It was more clear. They changed it now. But it said BRICS in the image of Rome. I think I took a picture on my phone.
Yeah.
Let me see, ancient Rome. I'll put ancient Rome. Go ahead. You go ahead and say.
Come on. Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
By what? By what? America coming into existence. All right?
The Renaissance, right? And all the world wonder after the beast. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Right. So who is able to make war with the so-called white man and his military? See, and this is how BRICS is like Rome in itself. It says, how many countries are in BRICS? 10 countries. And how many horns did you have on the head of those 7 heads? 10.
Yeah.
So it says, BRICS is an intergovernmental organization consisting of 10 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. So they do the same thing over and over. That's just, if it was allowed to continue, say Russia, as it promises, is going to destroy America, well, they would just have another image of Rome built. See, so the Lord's done with these devils. That's why he's going to, in Isaiah 14:21, extinct them. They're done. They're not going to have another kingdom because it'd just be the image of Rome all over again. See? Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Which is 3.5 years. All right, go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against power, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Which right now they rule the world.
Mm-hmm.
See, and they're going to attack who? The saints. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we disagree. It says in the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon 2. It says in verse 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressings of our education. See, because we're telling the truth. That's why they want to destroy us, because we tell the truth. Right?
God.
And that shows you his kingdom is built on lies.
Yeah.
They're not white, they're red. They're the red devil, the Edomite. And they're a bloody nation. And woe unto them that build a kingdom on blood. You
God.
see?
The Lord is going to curse them bad.
Right, because that blood has to be answered for.
There's only one way to clean it, you know?
Yeah, is with your blood being spilled.
Burn it. All their blood age.
And that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Right. And so I just pulled up a map of the allies of ancient Rome. All right. Which they have the ancient names, but you can see it's the European Union in its old time, but it was the heathen. See? Now it's Edomites that own all that land. But before that was the Japheth that was in there. You see? So that same place now filled with Edomites, right? That's the same place that they had their kingdom set up before. Go ahead.
Con. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Which that's what the so-called white man has done, and that's what he's planning to do, is to try to lead us into captivity with that implantable microchip.
Yeah, he's going to make it sound like you're living in a wonderful little city.
Yeah, but really it says he's not going to be allowed to.
Con.
Because he's not going to be able to take us into a new slavery. We're repenting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Con. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints.
Which all we're doing is waiting for this to play out. That's it. We're told to live peaceably with all men, to not avenge ourselves, but to present everything honest before all men. Go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Which is America. The two horns are the Republican and the Democrat. And the lamb is because they talk like they're trying to help you. Like Trump, right? We're going to do all these things for you, the people.
Yeah.
But it says, and he spake as a dragon, draconian law, which goes back to the Greeks. And then the Romans took it over, which is where they put laws in place where they could put you to death. You know?
Con. And they're still doing that, you know. Even I've heard stories, you know.
Right now with the immigration,
right?
Trump signed executive orders. They could put those immigrants to death in Guantanamo Bay. It's a death sentence right now.
I've heard stories like even more than that. Them taking these people, the Mexican people, they're supposed to take them, and the people over there said they don't see them. They haven't come home yet. Where are they? You know.
Right, because they're dead.
Yeah.
Let me see. Illegal immigration in U.S. Let's see. Right there. DOJ. All right. It says DOJ memo targets undocumented immigrants with death penalty. All right. So that's what it is. That's those draconian laws. They're going to make it like that even with the MOTB. If you don't got the MOTB, put that person to death. See, and that's why they're going to persecute the saints, because we're not allowed to take the MOTB. All right.
What did they do to the Gad when they came into this country? They almost destroyed them all.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Right there. It says Florida, right? It says Florida proposes mandatory death for illegal immigrants. See? And then you said it calls down fire from heaven. What did they say? Who burned Hawaii? Right? Let's see. It says U.S. burned Hawaii with lasers.
I think they did that also in California somewhere.
Right? Paradise, all that, right? See? Look. Right here. Who else is that? Is that a Mexican calling down fire? No, it's the so-called white race. It says right here, Hawaii wildfires directed energy weapon and other false claims. But they say it's false claims. They could dust it under the rug. But it's true. It's prophesied. And it ain't a lie. They got lasers right here where they show you, all right, on planes. They're weapons the military uses. All right, and this is why the people, they're going to be up in uproar pretty much. It tells you that in the last days, in 2nd Ezra 8, no, 9. It says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, which I just showed you, where the news articles are going right with the scriptures. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, Yahawah sending his son Yahawashi, will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which didn't that bald head dude from I like to call it skinhead news
yeah, I don't know,
full spectrum survival.
Yeah.
He said that they're pretty much expecting starving Americans in the streets in an uproar, right, within days. And then earthquakes. Let's get earthquakes. Latest earthquakes. Let's see. Right there, there's a whole list right here. And this is, let's see, the date 3/7/2025. Right there. You see it? This is a list of earthquakes in diverse places. And the date changes right here, 306. See, so that's a lot of earthquakes. And this is just what they're reporting. You got to remember, every time there's an earthquake, there's a bunch of earthquakes.
That come afterwards?
Yeah. And they said those could even be stronger than the original earthquake. Look at the earth. Let me show you. Is that earthquakes in diverse places? Look at the map. See, and it's not showing you all the aftershocks. See, earthquakes in diverse places. Go ahead.
Con. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Which those miracles is like opening the door with your mind, answering your phone, controlling your phone, typing. Some people, they're not going to be able to walk. Then they get the chip. They're going to be able to walk. All right. So those are miracles that the left hand is doing to deceive the people. All right.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
And that's what's happening. See? They're telling them, you got to get down with this system. And see, America is not, it's kind of like losing its power. So the elite are going to say, hey, bring out the implantable microchip and make it mandatory. Because they're trying to keep their power. See, and they got to keep us enslaved. But them being wicked, they do not understand that as soon as they bring out that chip, it's their end. It says immediately after the great tribulation, pretty much Yahawashi comes back, saves his people, and destroys the wicked. See? Immediately. So it ain't going to take long. All right?
Well, they got that chaos out of order, you know?
Yeah, chaos out of order, right. And that's what's coming with these prices.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation. They're saying some things are going to jump to 60, 70% higher. Right? From 25 to 60 to 70% higher.
Fruits.
And people can't make it already. So what are they going to do? It's going to be in an uproar.
They're going to have to go steal.
Hey, 2 Ezra 15. They're going to go into their neighbors' houses for the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah.
Because now that you're at a trade war, it ain't even going to be like there's food there. They're not even going to be no food. Because guess what? China ain't sending nothing. Ukraine ain't sending nothing. The European Union ain't sending nothing. See? So America's going to be all alone, starving. See? And then they're going to flood this country with troops. And they're going to go into house, raping and robbing. And then eventually nuclear destruction.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Which that's easy to see. If they'll kill you for illegal immigration, if you don't take that chip, they're going to put you to death. See? So you better believe that they'll do that. If they'll kill someone for illegal, I should say murder someone for illegal immigration, they'll murder you for not taking that chip.
And they've always done that to Jake, you know?
Yeah.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Which is that implantable microchip. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
And that's why you even got the WEF saying that one day everybody's going to have a chip right here. See?
What do they do to cattle?
Yeah, what is WEF? World Economic Forum.
Right.
Why would a World Economic Forum be talking about a microchip?
Right. Yeah, they got a lot of those people chipped already over there.
Yeah.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Which it goes to Edom, and pretty much from the Greek till now, it took them this long to come up with that chip, which they got that information from the Lord, and it's pretty much to mark the unbelieving Israelites and for them to be destroyed in their unbelief. See, but unto us, we're not going to be destroyed. Go to Revelation 3, verse 10.
Come on. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Which in the NLT, the end sounds a little better. It says, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. See, of what? The Israelite nation. It's going to test them of if they belong to this world. Mm-hmm. You want to keep your job? You want to save your life? Right? You're going to have to take this device. See, but the elect, we're like virgins. We're not connected to this place. All right? Mm-hmm. Go to Revelation 14 and 9.
Revelation 14 verse 9 reads, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hands, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of power, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation."
Which is America. And it says, without mixture, no mercy is going to be shown to them that are in this destruction. Go ahead.
"And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb."
Right there. See, and we're going to be looking down on them as they're tormented by the fire. We're hoping to be saved from this nuclear destruction of America, which is the judgment of the wicked and them that do wickedly. Which, once again, the cursed of Israel are going to be in there because they denounce the truth. All right, but we proclaim the truth. All right, we establish the truth. Hopefully, we be in the ships with Yahawashi, which he is the truth. All right, if you got something, go ahead and bring it out. Otherwise than that, we could go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, and we give all praise and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Ha, Rakak, Quadash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, Wa above the ball. Shalom to the elect.
All right. That was a good one.
Yes.